Hi everybody, I'm Devin Devine. And thank you for joining me on this beautiful day. There's a little bit of traffic coming by, so I might pause every once in a while when there happens to be a truck. So the reason why I've called you to join me today is I'm going to demonstrate 3 different types of flagstone cutting. First up is what we're going to call knapping, cutting with a brick hammer. Second up is going to be using cut nails. Using cut nails as wedges, and you will see this method in just a minute. And finally, back behind me, I have a cut we're going to make with an angle grinder. So, hopefully the light isn't too washed out right here, but I was already working on cutting this with my hammer. That's where all these chips came from. And that's where I got. After I was working on it, I put it back in position and I can see, okay, there's a 2-finger gap right here, tapering down to nothing. So I drew it using my soapstone where I need to make my additional adjustment. This might even be a little bit on this side. So first thing I'm going to do right here, I'm going to create, well actually there is a bit of an overhang left from last time. There's a bit more of it. Now I've got this overhang where it's undercut. That gives me a lot of control over it. And I'm just taking out little pieces at a time. This is going to be the same thing. I've got an overhang, so this is going to come out real easy. Right here I got a belly. I'll probably take the square side and remove that belly, get an overhang, and gain some control. Same thing right here. So to create the overhang, I'm coming down at like a 45-degree angle along the face, along the profile of the flagstone. I would say that worked pretty well. I've got 2 little nubs and I don't know if this is going to be in the way or not. Let's go see. So I've got another video that goes a little bit longer. It spends a little bit more time with the knapping, but I believe you've got the gist already. I'm looking at this and I'm seeing a pinky wide gap everywhere. Maybe right there it's a little tighter than I want it to be. That's right. There'll be a link in the description to another video where I maybe spent a little bit more time demonstrating the knapping, but I think you got it. For the most part, I'm using the square end at a 45-degree angle to create my overhang, and shipping that out with the chisel end. So our next cut is going to be made with a drill. So first thing I'm going to do is start each hole so I don't lose the marks with my water. So these here are 3-inch cut nails. Again, there will be links in the description. I've drilled these using a, what is this? This is a 5/16 inch drill bit. So I'm using selected a drill bit that comes up about midway on my cut nail. Putting the wedges in with the fat part going, perpendicular to the cut line. I just seat each nail one at a time. I'm seeing a little bit of a bounce, which I don't particularly like. I think we're just going to go with it. Alright. So this technique is, pretty much the same thing as cutting with feather and wedge. Only you don't have the feathers, right? You're just using the wedge. Now, so if you're doing a cut like this, same thing with feather and wedge. If you're worried about that it might not cut perfectly for some particular reason, then you want to go slower. Drive the nails in a little bit, and each time the nails go in a little bit, little micro fractures are happening in the stone. The stone is starting to break already. If you do it real quick, it could break kind of helter-skelter on you, So if you're worried about, for some reason, for example, if it's a soft stone, or if it's a very, the stone's particularly thick, or what have you. Here, I have some concern just because it's the first stone in the walkway. It's perfect size. I've already taken the time to make a couple cuts on it. And I don't want this one to come out wrong. And I'm almost starting to think, hey, why didn't I do 5 holes?
It's okay. It's good, bro.
Oh, I knew it was good. I'm just letting you know what goes through my head. I'm thinking, hey, why didn't I do 5 holes? I'm a little nervous. But no, you are right. This is definitely good right here. So I'm happy with the way that stone is fit. When I'm done, I might decide to neaten this up, using the good old knapping technique that we learned moments ago. All right, so I'm gonna have to move a couple things. Okay, so here is the grabo suction tool. also saves me from having to pry and lift. It just makes it a little bit easier to grab. There's a reason why I grabbed 2 grabos. It's because they grab better if there's more of them. Okay, so here's the next cut. So this is a cut that we could definitely do just with the hammer. Right here. But since I already got your attention, I might as well show you a third way of cutting flagstone. Okay, let me... So for here, for cutting with the angle grinder, you know, we've got multiple ways that we could supply water. We're supplying water to keep the dust down, and we're supplying water to extend the life of the blade. We've got a few methods here. Mister, you know, water, garden canister, or a good old grout sponge. This grout sponge looks surprisingly like a purple bandana. And it's a mystery. So when you're making an angle grinder cut, you know, like with any cut, you puzzle your 2 pieces together and you overlap them to see where the line should be. For an angle grinder cut, first thing I did is I scored it. I cut the whole thing, you know, a real shallow cut, so I didn't lose the line. You'll lose the line as soon as dust and water starts happening. So here, you know, I cut about halfway through the stone, and it comes right off. So the problem, or the situation with the grinder, is it can leave you a perfectly smooth saw cut, which can sometimes be an issue if you happen to have, for some people. It also depends on your style. For my style, I'm leaving a pretty natural edge, although well fit. So I will saw cut where I need be, but afterwards you can just take your saw, take your hammer and just do the knapping again, and that's enough. You know, I've removed 1/8 of an inch off the top, 1/4 inch off the top. There. And now we've got a natural looking edge, and this one will fit up against it nicely. That's the way I want it to be. It is the way I want it to be. I've just got that and that left to make it fit a little bit better. And you know, whenever I have small cuts, it's usually the hammer, especially this cooperative type of stone. This here is Pennsylvania bluestone, which is cooperative, so I'm knapping. Okay. And that's that. Thank you for stopping by.